Hello, we're nearing the end of the epic journey that is Symphobia 4 Pandora, and we're ending with the combos, even though they're starting with them. I don't know. I just thought we'd look at all the main stuff and then see them put together in hopefully some interesting ways. So, in the old days, this would have been multis, really. In Lumina, we had stories here. They're now calling them combos in this incarnation. And the reason they're not multis is that a lot of them, well, you see this here, they're linked. They have here master and linked, so that if there's timings to be going on as there are here, what you do for one will instantly happen to all the others. So you couldn't do that in a regular multi, so it's exactly why they're doing what they're doing. You've got all the same controls. You can go just to the individual mics if you want on any one element of it. You can, I think, change... No, you can't. I was wondering if you can change what's master and what's linked. It doesn't make any sense to be honest. The master you always want at the top. So, here we go with the first one, which is Big Builder. There it is. So you hear there's a bit of harp joined it, and then there's the timpani and grand casseroles in there. Just in case this is the first one you've seen, this is a synced patch that will cleverly hit a downbeat if you need it to. So if I go 1, 2, hits the beat of the bar, and that works everywhere. I've demoed this a lot, so let's do one more. 1. I'll go on. So you can do really fast ones if you're near the end of the bar. Okay, that's Big Builder really. Let's shut that up. Brahm. Now, either this is about Brahms and they've spelled it wrong, or it's going to go. Oh yes, look at this. Low brass ensemble burst, and then low brass ensemble wide burst. Wide refers to the orchestration, and short. This is going to be pretty beefy, isn't it? Here we go. We've got key switches here, F and G2. I've got to be honest, I can't hear that. They've pitched it up. Is there a way of soloing this? Yeah, there is. So let's just hear what that is doing. In the noise of the low ones, I can't really tell. It's interesting. It's minus. Oh, sorry, it's down at an octave, isn't it? Yes. There's an extra little at the front of that. Just because it's not big enough without it. It's a fairly subtle thing in with all this great big. There we go. And that one's a fairly straightforward patch. Cluster swells. Takes a little while to load some of these. They're quite beefy, and most of these instruments occupy quite a bit of RAM. We can see here. Sorry, it's that one, isn't it? That's not that much. I don't know if that's really showing all the instruments or just the first one, because there are several loaded. So that might be slightly misleading. Let's see. And we have a few key switches to play around with here. That's the hit at the end, isn't it? Yeah, it's a longer blat there. And if we want to make it even bigger, presumably we can turn that up. Grand Casa, Colenio. This might sound odd. Can't hear that. Sort of there in the mix somewhere. there we go. I keep saying I'm going to check out the snapshots, and I keep forgetting. Let's see what this one is. Absolutely nothing. I was still loading. No. Well, that went well, didn't it? I bet you've missed all these. I don't know why that's not working, but it ain't working. In fact, it's all stopped. Let's reload it. Such are the ways of life. Occasionally this happens to me with Contact. Still not reloaded. Nothing is happening. Oh, finally. Let's see if it behaves now. Exciting, this, isn't it? Downfall. Well, that breaks it. ProjectSAM people, something for the glitch list. I'd check that out. I don't know why that's happening there, but obviously it's not going to play ball. So we'll go on to Ghouls and Ghosts. This is a sync patch. You see the flash as to where the peak intensity is. And we've got some elements of this that trail on quite a while afterwards. So let's see what happens on a downbeat scenario. I hit it on the second beat. That one doesn't work quite so well for me. I think that tail doesn't quite fit. So there we go. Let's see what happens to the sound design this time. Degrading. How dare you. It's not going to work. Well, I've tried, it's typical, I've tried lots of snapshots and they've always worked fine in individual ones, but for me, it looks like all the snapshots in these combos ain't happening. So I won't bother with those anymore and hope that will be on a fix coming up to save any more dead air. Right then, Growl Master, down here. And that has low winds, low brass, and low strings. And yeah, there you go. They've obviously, performed some very similar articulations across the sections, so they work well together. This is one, if I start early, it will have a delay. It will calculate how long it needs to hit the beat. Very nice. Haunted Swell. I'll stop talking. I've run out of things to say. So we have low winds, cluster swell, horns and bones, and it all sounds like this. Same problems with the other one. That hanging thing I don't like very much. That's the bones. What if I turn the release down a bit on the suspense? Can I help that? This keeps going anyway for whatever reason. Okay. Well, I'm finding them sort of a mixed bag at the moment. Some of them are very nice. Some of them I think need a little bit more refinement to blend the different elements together so far. Like I say, this is 1.0, so that's quite nice. And that's all synced, and it's this one, I think, the low brass wide is the one that's delayed to hit the downbeat, or the whatever beat you're on. 1, 2. some work there. Okay, so there's another issue. I think these combos do feel like a work in progress. This will only really work in this incarnation. It looks like in the beats or maybe seconds. So you can't use that downbeat feature with this. What happens if I pick a random point? Works in seconds. Okay. And you can presumably make it short. Yeah, that's all working. Okay. Mad Monsters. It promises much. Let's see what you got. Mad Monsters, Mad Monsters. Here we go. Yeah. All the main sections, wild textures, all playing together. Outrunning time. Talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. All right, so it's a pulses patch. That's good. The strings and high winds are set to 8s, and the brass on quarters. Now we've got a few things going on here. They are presumably going to change the which octave is this? Down here, yeah. So that's interesting. So they will change, but keep the brass going. It's very nice. That's working great. That's a very nice patch. If I'm being picky, it might be nice to have these stabs. We've got the whole section stabbing there. Why not, with these oceans of keyboard above here, having this octave, the one above the yellow, you could have the winds, you could have the brass, and then you could have the strings. So if you just want to stab an individual section in there, and then you'd be away, you'd be scoring an entire little action scene with this one patch alone. But that's great. That's the result of having planned it in the way they've done it, I think, and getting all the different sections orchestrated in the same way, so it really pays off when you stack them like that. That's great. P for Pandora. Obviously run out of things to call patches by here. That is something, isn't it? That's velocity sensitive. Terrific. Not much to dislike there. Power burst. And reload it. There we go. How low is that? That's stupidly low. Some echo going on in there. So we've got our different sections here. Strings changing on those. Brass on that. Thing of delay, there it is, it's the winds, isn't it? Just the winds and the strings. Fab. Restless Risers. All going on there, isn't it? Again, that sounds to me like they've really been careful in their different articulations. They're kind of able to combine them in meaningful ways. Really nice. Although that sort of chopped off a bit at the end. Under the hood, you could add some reverb onto that maybe to get rid of that ending problem. Nope. Try one of the others. See which one it is that's really dominating. I've got the bit between the teeth now. Maybe it needs all of them. Ghostly Rising, perhaps? That's the one, isn't it? And I've overcooked it, so... Of course, now it changes from note to note, right? You'd probably get away with that. A little bit of massaging, but that's very nice. Layering of different string risers. Scare tactics. Yum-de-dum-de-dum. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. That's working beautifully for me. We'll just check how it works on this mode, see if there are any other issues, or we're all right. 1, 2. Lovely. Performing mightily. Tonal pulses. Now this is the one that I'll just briefly recap it here, but this was in the intro video. I think this is the one I started with. It's a very handy, generic sort of that's a great one. Yeah, and if you want to hear more of that, I go around it, around the houses in the intro video for that one. It's terrific. Trailerizers. Well, we can't really escape them, can we? They're with us in life. Okay, we've got stuff arranged everywhere. Oddly quiet. Host not running. Previewing 44120. Yeah. Why is it even saying that? Because that's odd. Because I'm not in downbeat mode. It shouldn't be talking about hosts. But there we go. Looks like it's accelerating stutters on them all. I'm going to cough. I'm so sorry. Wowzers. Triple crescendo next. Oh, nearly at the end. And now... Can't remember how it goes. Triple crescendo. Let's have a listen. Okay, triple being all three sections. And we've got them. They sound lovely loud, don't they? I wonder, go under the hood here, dynamics crossfade. Let's do this to all of them, because I find myself reaching for CC1 on this one. There we go. So obviously it's not as such what the patch is intended for, but if you want a sort of a lovely low pad texture, very nice. Down there is something, isn't it? Sorry, I might have to cough again while I load in Whirlwinds, which is our last one. I do like a good whirlwind. Sometimes only a whirlwind would do. I remember this is one of the first things I asked for. With so many horror effects, it's like, that's great, and it's, you know, the winds and the strings. In fact, this is what I kind of did, didn't I? I didn't put the rolls in it. I think I did this and got very excited that I figured it out myself. Terrific. And perhaps that's a good one to end on, because it shows the different sections working together very nicely, very beautifully on an effect. So my third set of final thoughts, as I offended them all, having some final thoughts. Overall, I think Pandora it's great. It's terrific. It does what it does better than anything else I've heard. It's organised very well. There are a few 1.0 rough edges, but nothing that stops the main bulk of it. I think it might be nice, because I keep forgetting they're there, if they perhaps put the effects. I'm just going to load another one as I'm talking about it now. Let's just pick a patch at random and see if this works. If they put the sort of effects patches, which are all typically, that hasn't got one, all under snapshots, I think it would be nice if they could arrange an extra section, nor as that. Oh, come on, give me something. So that you're not hunting around like I'm doing now for, you know, something that has a snapshot with an effect going on. This is unbelievable. Every single time, most of them do. I'm just somehow lucking out on every one. Is it less in the tonal? It's going to clusters. I'm waiting for this at the top to change to something that's that shows a snapshot. No, that doesn't. Well, this is fun, isn't it? I bet you're glad you stayed for this bit. This is ridiculous. Sure. Right, finally, there we are. So now we have an earthquake. So that is the normal patches, and this one. But that unwittingly has illustrated the point. You're really hunting around. If you wanted a sort of a sound design impact rumble, you might not immediately know where to go. So I think it would be nice if they, as well as doing it like the snapshot here, they had like a section, where are we? Section 8 of the sound design patches, and some of the best ones there, because there are some really good ones there. Like, why didn't I just go to this? Because I think I might have played this somewhere else, but it's a nice demo of how you go from that to It's really good. But put them somewhere more useful. So that's one. I'd like to see a version that was slimmed down, that had just a mic mix position. And as I've gone through, there've been, what is it, about 5% of patches I've gone, no, I need a bit more close on there or whatever. It's a relatively small proportion, and that would really suit laptop working. There's obviously the odd glitch here and there. I think for the sync patches, having an extra control on the downbeat section where you can just slide it so that you're off the downbeat in half measures in either way would be nice. And those are things that I think will come. They have said to me, they've just had so many things to go through, and they just thought, we've got to get a version out, and then we'll worry about some of the bells and whistles later down the line. So what ProjectSAM are terrific at is that, I can't remember when the last Symphobia 1 update was. It was, 18 months ago or something, and that was like over a decade after it first came out. They're still updating it, and so you're in for the long haul with them, which is terrific, and I would expect to see this grow. Overall, in terms of the range, I don't think you can ask for any more clusters and effects. This is a brilliant broad selection. Maybe it would be nice to have a few more combo patches, not combo like this, but a few more instruments layered like they've done in some of theirs, some nice combinations. And more pulses wouldn't go amiss. I'm not quite sure quite where. Maybe we've got enough pulses, because actually the cluster pulses have so many good Bernard Herrmann type orchestration in them that each, it might be only one patch, but of those dozen variations, you are actually quite well covered. Because I suspect a lot of people will be sort of thinking, well, it is terrific. There's no denying it's terrific. Beautifully implemented, amazing sound, great range of what's there. But they might miss some of the more regular things. And like I say, the way that they can just combine instruments in a lovely way, that maybe people were hoping for a few more things like that out of Pandora. And maybe more bits will come. I don't know. As it is, I think it's a terrific product. I've no idea what the pricing is. You'll have to go and Google that yourself when you see that, because I'm actually doing this on the Thursday before it's released, and I'll press a magic button so you may be watching even on launch day. Well, that's about the size of it. For anyone who's listened to all this, I would like to apologise to their families for taking up far too much of your time and making some unbelievable noises at times, and some from the library. Thank you very much. And one other thing I wanted to say is that sometimes people leave lovely comments, and I don't always comment on that, but I do get to see them all. And thank you for anyone who says nice things. Stuff you if you say horrible things. No, but it is nice. It's appreciated, and I just think it's terribly self-aggrandizing if I comment on them all. But you're all very nice. Yes, this is my real accent. Yes, I'm from Britain. No, I'm not putting it on. No, I don't like Donald Trump. I got in real trouble the one time I said that. But I don't. The man's a monster. He's an evil... Right, okay, I'll stop before I start getting in trouble. Okay, thanks again to ProjectSAM for letting me review this. And thank you, everyone, for joining me for at least some of the ride. And now I'm going to stop.